Hello, welcome to Spiritual Tea Talk with the Michelles.
Hello and welcome. And we're actually enjoying this whole video thing, I feel.
I I definitely am enjoying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm liking this alternative version so that um we can share the visual as well as the audio.
Yeah, then people could put a face to the names,
Right?
to the Michelles.
Yes. To the 1L and the 2L.
Double L.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, well, welcome everyone. We have I think it's quite a topic for today, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to talk about tying up loose ends in this energy of January. I don't know about many people, but about you, but many people that I know, including myself, has been experiencing intense events going on and trying to figure out why it's going on and not losing yourself or your faith as it's going on. And Michelle brought up that she has read in a couple of places that January is about tying up those loose ends and figuring out what do you want to call in for 2024,
Yeah,
which makes complete sense to me.
it's really interesting. January is definitely a shake-up month. So Pam Gregory and I guess Lee Harris also, somebody told me today, and the Power Path, they're all talking about the same thing. They're all talking about January being this big shake-up month, this big
Yeah,
truth-telling month, this big reveal of things that we're still carrying. I mean, we are human still at the end of the day, and
yeah,
we still carry things and we hold things and we carry things for other people. And I think the truth of who we are and how we want to move forward is what they're all talking about. And what they're saying is, as you said, tying up the loose ends and being really, really clear about what you want to discard, release, leave behind this month so that whatever you take into February and the rest of the year is going to be what you take into the rest of the year. So really making like this self-commitment to,
yeah,
if you don't like it, you don't have to hold on to it. As hard as that can be sometimes, right?
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, and it's also like reminding yourself of that. I find like I talk to a lot of people and I'm like, do pep talks, remind yourself. I talk to myself a lot. I don't know if that's okay or not, but it is what it is. And I do like I will tell myself it's okay to be this way because we are still human. We still feel things. We all go through certain things and for whatever reason that is. And when we're in the thick of it, we can at times lose sight of the light or think that it's not going to end or think that we're not strong enough to get through it. But as long as we pull out those tools that we all have to remind us that we are the light, like we're not searching for the light, we are the light, and to keep moving forward, we'll survive this. And I think that to also go, okay, like I'm going through this to tie up something, to release something, because I'm not going to be dealing with this ever again in this way. Like it's going to be easier for me. And I right now can do hard things.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love the easier piece because I truly believe, and I've been saying this, I think last year too, is that paradigm of it being difficult to achieve something and we have to work hard to get there and we have to carry these burdens and we have to support other people to our own detriment. And certainly for me, one of the things I've let go of is accommodating other people when it's not in alignment to do that.
Mhm.
I give up
Yeah.
pieces of myself to accommodate a situation or people or something that I want to achieve, but I'm not truly in alignment with it if I'm giving up parts of myself in order to try and get there. And so,
Yeah.
looking at those patterns that you go, oh my gosh, I'm doing this again. And I believe January is going to bring those up. January is going to go, oh, look, it's still there. And it's going to come up in some bizarre way. And it's for us to be consciously present enough, right,
Yeah.
to recognize this as, oh, I have a choice. Do I want
Mm.
to take this into the rest of the year? Or do I want to say, it worked back in 1925, but it's not working for me anymore? And give yourself permission to let go.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm being reminded that so my motto saying whatever you want to call it for 2024 is stepping up and allowing. And so the situations that are happening around me in my life right now is propelling me to, like you said, to make that decision of how am I going to deal with this? How am I going to show up for it? And do I want to carry it forth? And, my answers are like, no, I don't want to carry it forth. And I'm going to change how this is for me. And I'm going to, once I have thrown myself a little pity party, which I already did, so I'm over that. Uh, I go look at it and go, okay, so why did this happen? What are the lessons? And what are the positive things that I could get out of this? So I examine it, but I also allow myself um to feel crappy.
Yes.
And I don't go, oh, it is what I used to say, it is what it is. But now I go, let me feel this. Let me have that pity party. Let me feel bad for myself for a moment. If that's a couple of hours, a day, whatever that is. And then I go, now let's shift this. Let's do the work to really release it. Yeah.
I love that. And I agree with you so completely. And I feel that, this topic is to give people a heads up. It's to give people notice that if something comes up for you and you're just, why am I still attracting this? What is going on? Why is this happening? This is a heads up. This is happening because, so that you
Yeah.
don't like step into victim mode and go, oh, it's happening to me again. Notice that it's happening and then know you have this choice of going, if you want to play victim, you can. And then you're going to take that into the rest of the year and keep attracting things that are going to make you feel like a victim. Or you can say, wow, here it is again. And let's change it. Let's do something differently. And I've noticed in my own life where something has come up, and I'm going through something right now too, that could never have been imagined that I would be in this situation. It's not life and death. Everything's good. It's just a truth-telling experience and bringing things to light around myself and other people in order for the truth to be revealed, because that has been my motto for the last 3 years. I want the truth to be revealed, no judgment, but now I can make choices. So if
Yeah.
you feel things are really in your face, if you feel like things are happening, if you feel that, for me, old boyfriends showing up and going, oh my God, again, like, why is this still happening? And again, no judgment. It just is something I've moved on from. But if they're still coming into my energy field, what do I still have to let go of so I can truly move forward and say, thank you, lessons learned, great people, not for me. It's time to move on. And I think clarity, and we've talked about clarity before as being something that really helps to um, help you to attract and really get clear on what you want to bring into the rest of the year. And my dear friend Amy, our thing has been last year into this year has been, you manifest this amazing thing and it's not quite there. And you go, okay, yes, and so yes, thank you. I'm grateful for what's shown up. And there's a little bit more detail that I forgot to add in that I'm now going to add in to attract, that next thing, or that improved version of what I was envisioning. And I feel, very often people think that because you and I do this for a living, and because you and I are in this all the time, that it's a gift that you and I hold. And I know that you're on the same page as me. We all have this ability to do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel that sometimes people, um, yeah, anyways, the whole judgmental, like we have it easier because maybe we could see our futures, and that's not how psychic abilities work.
Right.
For most of us. Most of us cannot see our own future, because we're too involved in it. But I love what you said about the piece of, okay, I manifested this, and then when it happens, it's like, oh, but, or, and I need this.
Yeah.
And I think that that is us, like when we go through something, it's like, oh, you know what? I did manifest this, but I learned that I need to add this to it. Like it's like making a soup, right? Like, so you make that soup and you taste it going, okay, oh, I need to add this to it. Or I need to add this to it, this spice or salt or pepper. And that's kind of like what you do with manifesting. I love that you put it that way, with manifesting, because it's so true. And I feel that sometimes we think, I manifested this, the universe brought it to me, so I have to accept it. And that's not the case at all. You could go, wait, universe, yeah, I didn't pay attention to exactly what I was wishing for. Like when they tell you to be careful what you wish for, like I needed to sit with it a little bit longer. I didn't put it in the right terms, or I didn't even think that could be a possibility.
Right.
So let me go back to the let me wipe that board.
Yeah.
Let me go back into adding some more details to exactly, now that I know, because I've done more work on myself, or I've been shown, I become aware of what I truly need in this. And then also being open to the amazing opportunities, whatever, like I can't manifest for myself. I just can't see it. I'm always open to, um if something better comes. Like this is what I'm manifesting, or something better.
Yes. And I love that. That's something I've used for a long time, is this or better. And
Yeah.
that way, again, I feel there's an importance to being grateful for what comes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then working off of that foundation. And then,
Yeah.
like you're saying, taking that and knowing that we don't have to go, oh my God, this was magical, and now I just have to accept this, but it's not quite there. Like, we don't have to accept. And you said it so perfectly. And I love the soup analogy, because
Yeah.
that's life. We're making one big pot of soup, and we keep adding things and taking things away and tasting it again and going, oh, that's really yummy. And then tomorrow, I probably could use a little extra pepper. And it's an
And
ever
sometimes it's
evolving thing.
sitting. Yeah, and sometimes it's sitting overnight makes it
Yes.
even better.
Yes.
So having the patience for divine timing coming in.
Yes. Yes.
Now we need to go make soup.
I know.
Who knew we'd be doing a cooking class?
But it's a great analogy for life.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to stay still, and when the soup gets low, you don't have to go, oh, that's the end of a really good soup. Now what? You
Right.
can recreate, or you can do the same thing, or there's
Yeah.
so many options available to us. And sometimes when we're going through these clearing processes, and we're going through these places of maybe victim mode, or the pity party. I had one of those this morning too. Um, going through those and allowing ourselves to go through those. And then one of the tricks that I've learned for myself is I then become the observer. And instead of getting really stuck in it, and then all of my vision gets closed in, and I become very shut into the experience, I
Yeah.
have the experience, because we have to learn how to have those experiences work through us. But then I become the observer. And then I look from that place above, and I call in my grandmother because she was one of the best observation humans I've ever met. And I go, okay, if I'm looking at this from the outside, what do I actually see? Because then you see more of the bigger picture or the truth, or wow, you really dug yourself in. It's time to pull yourself out of that hole and see what else is around. The sun is out. Let's go outside. Let's experience nature. And allow then those ideas and those inspirations to come through us, because you don't have to work for it or look for it. You have to just show up and allow, just be in your happy place, whatever
Absolutely.
that happy place is, right? Because for everyone it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Elevate it, right?
Yes,
Elevate
yes,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah, that just came to me.
Yeah,
Elevate it.
yeah.
I love that. Yeah, and I have to say that I probably didn't realize where I was energetically until yesterday when you so kindly shared what you were going through with me, and that's what brought the aha moment to me going, oh, because I was having a, I didn't even realize I was having a pity party, but I was, and I wanted to like go within and become a hermit and not go out and all of these things. And then having the conversation with you, and you didn't know what I was going through or that I was going through something but to share your story, and it helped me so much. And I think that that just shows that we're not here to do it ourselves, we're here to do it together, and that we all just need people. So even if even and us just showing up, so you weren't aware of how you were showing up for me, but and I wasn't aware of it either until we hung up, and then I was like, holy crap. Okay, universe. Okay, I hear you. Now it's time to get my butt moving and stop the pity party, because that's not helping me at all. It's good to recognize and feel those things, because sometimes we go through events or situations to experience it.
Yep.
We experience good and bad through life, but I don't need to hold on to it, because I'm someone that I am a co-creator. So I don't usually look at life happening to me. I don't look at something, why is that happening to me? And of course, my human side comes in, the ego comes in like, oh, what, how did you attract this situation into your life? Like, how did you allow this to happen? Like, aren't you set up for this stuff not to happen? I went through all of that, right? And I feel like sometimes we could get lost in that. And so that it takes somebody else, reach out to somebody. And you don't even have to tell them what's going on. Just have a conversation, like find like-minded people and receive and
Oh my
receive. You
gosh.
don't have to go through these events yourself, and you don't have to sugarcoat things. Like
Right.
people will, friends, clients, whatever, will tell me something go that's going on, and they're like, but it's okay, I will survive. And I was like, yes, you will survive, but for this moment, can we just say this sucks?
Yeah.
Because it does suck. So just recognize it. It's not judging it, it's just saying this sucks, and I don't want this in my life anymore. So now I'm going to take that empowerment that I have, and I'm going to change it to what do I want? Or I'm going to ask myself, do I know what I want?
Love that. That's a great question.
Because sometimes these events happen because the universe is working, going, do you know what you really want? Do you know what you want to manifest? Do you know what you want in your life? Let's bring up this question, so that so an event happens and you go, oh, yeah, nope, I want to change that. I don't want that in my life. Or like you said, I need to tweak it. I need to add on to it. This was great, but let's add on
Yeah.
the pepper to go with it, the
Yeah.
salt that brings out all the flavor.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
just
But it's not, it's also not about getting lost in the details of manifesting either. And being a Virgo, like Geminis and Virgos, like are the rulers of the communication. Mercury's rules communication, so we're really great communicating. But Virgos are really good with details, and we could tend to get lost in the details. And just if you, even if you don't have Virgo in your chart, like in a major way, I think that as humans, we're kind of trained to get the details or need all the details or whatever, get lost in the details. And so sometimes for me, I have to pull myself out of the situation, use ego spirit, use hawk spirit to pull myself up, elevate so I can see the bigger picture and drop the details. So in manifesting, we talk about those details, right? But I think that at times we tend to try to control the manifesting a bit too much with all the details
I agree.
too.
I totally agree. There's definitely a fine line between the detail and then the allowing the space for something to come in. Because
Yeah.
I always feel, because I'm really not detail oriented at all. So I'm coming from the other end of the spectrum going, I think I missed a couple of things here that I probably should have added in. But what I also find is that with too many details, it blocks the flow of
Yeah.
something that we may not have thought of, or we may not have envisioned, or we may not have thought was creatable. And now with all the detail, we've kind of set something to look a certain way. And then there's this other thing that's on the outside going, but I can't get in. I can't get in. There's
Yeah.
too many details. You'll never see me because you've already set the details like right here.
Right. Right.
And so I think, there's also this place of everyone's different and there's no rule book. And I've
Yeah.
said that for years because I'm such a rule breaker. That's my mission. One of my missions on life is to break all the rules. And I've done a really good job so far. So, but we can get hung up into it has to be this way or it has to be that way, or this book said this, or this class said this. And I've always said to people, and many of the teachers I've studied with have said, take what works for you and leave the rest.
Yeah.
Take what resonates with you. Oh, Maui's on the move. You can all meet Maui now. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest, because it's not a rule book. It's take the nuggets that work for you, resonate with you, feel good to you, and then create and co-create and manifest. And
Yeah.
along that way, like we've been saying, you might go, well, that really felt good a year ago, but it doesn't feel so good now.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what this month is about, is it may have felt really good and you've brought it into January and now you're going, well, I should probably keep it because it felt really good, but it doesn't feel really good right now. So should I keep it because it did, or should I let go of it because it doesn't anymore? And know that in your space of evolving, things will change like that. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, but that doesn't fit. It doesn't feel good anymore. Or that was someone else's idea, but it doesn't feel right to me anymore. Another piece of language that I'm really working on is watching where I say I think rather than I feel.
Mm.
Because in animal communication, one of the things I was taught by Nancy Windhart was when you're talking to somebody about their animal and you say, I think, you're likely coming from here. And that's not animal
Yeah.
communication, right? That's your mind going, oh, I think this. And when you say, I feel, you're coming from that place that you love so much. You're coming from your heart and saying, I feel this. And then you are heart to heart communicating, with an animal or a human being or a situation or whatever it is, because you're feeling it, not thinking it. So I feel there's that piece. If you're in some kind of dilemma, ask your question. Am I thinking this from my mind and my ego? Or am I feeling this from my heart and where's the inspiration and what resonates with me.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, yeah, that is, yeah. And being someone, I always talk about this, but yeah. So I'm having conflicting things now because I get what you're saying, and I love that. Like, let's get out of our heads and into our hearts. And but also like as a channeler or a psychic medium or whatever title you want to give me, uh when the information comes in different for me all the time. So I will switch up that language and say I feel, because I'm actually feeling it in my body being an empath. Uh, and I might say I think, because it's the knowing coming through, or it's a vision, or or it's a hearing thing. So yeah, they're okay. Yeah, they just told me to stop overthinking it. Yeah. Anyways.
I've been I love all of that because I think
Yeah, Maui, we're almost done.
almost done, buddy. Because I also feel that I think we might be done.
No, Maui, our director, our producer, Maui, is telling us that we need to wrap it up.
Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up.
Well, thank you, everyone. We're gonna leave it on that note, like the cliffhanger. Many blessings to all of you. Lots of love.
Much love, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.